It is always great to see our friend Ethan Forhetz with Convoy.
Oh, yeah, I saw you guys do
Of Hope. I had to. Yeah, did you get that?
We won't sing the
yeah,
song
of
for you.
Hope.
We won't sing the
Man.
song.
Yeah,
That's
that's a lot.
Reminds me to say it a lot anytime I'm in an interview
Now
or something.
you're going to want to slow
Just to
down if
watch.
somebody's,
Just to watch them sign interpreter.
Right.
Well, it's good to see you. You guys have been so busy at Convoy. I mean, unfortunately, there's places that need help, and you're there to help them.
Yeah, well, it's getting into the busy season. We had been, fortunate so far to not have any major hurricanes hit the United States. Now it looks like Ian is going to hit Florida in the next few days. The severity goes back and forth. I think flooding is going to be the major issue, especially in the Tampa area. The storm surge, and they haven't had a hurricane like this that was a direct hit in about 100 years.
Oh, wow.
It's been a long time. These people have never lived through a direct hit major hurricane, and that may be what's on the way now to Tampa.
See, we feel like we hear that there's a hurricane all the time in Florida. But
Well, in Florida, but Tampa is weird because it's on the interior of the Gulf, so it's kind of tucked away.
Yeah.
And they felt remnants before of hurricanes.
Yeah,
But that direct hit.
The direct hit is what we're talking about,
wow.
which the storm surge is going to be a big problem there, flooding.
I can think of nothing more scary. I think around here we're kind of used to tornadoes and cellars and all that stuff, but just that water, the wind.
It's a lot of, and it's relentless. It happens for so long. A hurricane can last 12 hours, and it's such a large, massive area that it's the entire state of Florida is going to feel this hurricane.
Yeah.
Tampa's going to take the direct hit, but the good thing about, if there's a good thing about a hurricane, is that you can see it coming.
Right.
So you can evacuate if you want to, and I think a lot of people
I
are.
definitely would. Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do.
You know what? You live through a couple of them, and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then that's what happens to a lot of folks. They want to stay.
You see that. They board things up. They're
Right.
like, oh, we're good. We're going to live through this.
That's how we kind of feel about tornadoes now.
Yeah.
You know, when I go out of
Well,
state and visit, people are like, aren't you scared of tornadoes? I'm like, you kind of get used to that. You know,
Yeah.
I could see that. It's
part of life.
What is Convoy's role, like, if this hurricane should hit Tampa? What's the next step then?
Well, we will go down and mobilize early in advance of the hurricane. And because Florida is a narrow state, that's us at a packing party yesterday. We had volunteers out packing 5,000 grocery bags that we're going to be sending down in advance. Another group is going to come today, pack another 5,000. So we have a lot of groceries ready to go for the folks of the Tampa area, and wherever it hits in Florida, if it's not Tampa. But our crews, our disaster teams, are the best in the business. They're going to head down early. I will probably be part of that. Maybe Thursday is when we'll leave, stay out of the hurricane zone, and then as soon as it moves up and through, we move in following it as quickly as we can, and we go down as far as we can, as far as the roads will allow us to go.
Right.
We set up camp, and we're in constant communication with cities and churches in the area to find out where we can land, because we're going to have a lot of vehicles, a lot of emergency vehicles, because when we move into an area like that, we are completely self-sufficient. We have our own bunk trailers, our own kitchen, our own food, our own bathrooms, showers. So we're not a drain on a community that's already been hit hard. That's important.
Yeah.
So we have to land on a big parking lot, and then we start setting up distribution. And what's great about the model that Convoy of Hope uses is that a lot of what we do is partner with churches. That's 90% probably of what we do. So we land on a big church parking lot. It's big and empty most of the time. They have the army of volunteers that we can then call on. They put on a Convoy of Hope t-shirt, and then it's neighbor literally handing out relief supply to neighbor, which is so cool.
Yeah, so you really don't know where you're going to land. That's what I was thinking, because you don't want to get too close, and you just kind of got to wait it out and figure it out as you go.
Well, I know our leadership is having meetings this morning to talk about the plan, but that plan can always be adjusted because we never know exactly where the storm is going to go. And then while we're on the phone with the churches and with the cities to find out where's the biggest need, that's where we end up.
Yeah. It's kind of like a storm chaser. I mean, in a way. I mean, storm avoider.
A safe storm chaser.
Storm avoider is what you're doing.
A storm avoider.
To get close enough to help the people but not get in the middle of it.
Right.
Also, you were recently helping the Jackson water crisis?
Yeah, that was a water crisis that went on for, well, several weeks because flooding happened there. And while flooding was not a huge issue going forward, it showed them a lot of problems with the water system that had been going on for a long time. So now they have to fix those problems. Very, very expensive and a lot of long time work. So they had to shut down water for much of the city of Jackson. It's about the same size as Springfield, 160,000 or so.
Okay.
Wow.
So all those people had to boil their water. If they had water coming out of the tap at all, they couldn't brush their teeth with it. So a lot of bottled water is what Convoy was down there doing in this video. Again, partnering with churches. You see the line stretched around the building, a drive-through distribution. And these are church church volunteers handing out supply to their neighbors in Jackson. Fortunately now, the water is drinkable in Jackson again, but they do have long-term issues that they're going to have to work on with that water system.
Oh, well, they couldn't even brush their teeth with it. It was
No.
that toxic.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's incredible.
Bacteria,
Ethan,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's say we're looking at this video, and what I'm thinking of is like, look at these great volunteers, neighbor helping neighbor.
Yeah.
What happens though? Do you run out of items, and if their car's still in line, what do you do? Can you replenish some of those items? Do you ship it back down? How does that work to replenish the supplies?
We have more than one truck coming.
Okay,
So it's several
perfect.
trucks. Now, a one-day distribution will last until supplies run out that day. But we say, hey, we have another truck coming. Come back on this day, we'll have more. And the good thing about Jackson was that the National Guard was there. The federal government got involved. So there was a lot of water available for people in Jackson. The government took it very seriously. Crews like Convoy of Hope and other nonprofits took it very seriously, showed up with a bunch of water. So nobody was without water if they could get to water.
Okay.
Do you feel like that, I mean, you can get to, or people can get to you, as many people as that need what you are providing?
You would be amazed at how quickly word spreads.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Just last year, down at a hurricane, we were doing a distribution in a strip mall, and I was doing some radio and TV interviews ahead of time, so I had to get where there was cell service so I could do it. So we were driving to where we knew there was cell service, at least there was yesterday. We drove by this strip mall where we're going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. There's a line of cars all over the place. We're stuck in traffic. And I said to my photographer who was driving, I said, we got to go into that strip mall and find out who's there because we're supposed to be there later. And I pulled in and said, hey, what's going on? And they said, Convoy of Hope is coming.
Well, you know, when the word travels fast.
It travels fast. They
have
were
that
lined
need.
up for more than a mile.
That gives me goosebumps.
I know,
3
me too,
hours,
me too.
Yeah, 3 hours early. So I called our crews and said, bring a bunch because
Yeah.
they're here.
Yeah.
Ethan, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
And
you
by
for
the way,
all you
after this hurricane comes through, we'd love to hear like how it went.
Yeah, you bet.
What happened? We'd
Yeah,
love
you
to
bet.
hear
Follow-up.
the follow-up on that.
You bet, absolutely. I'd love to
Great
come back.
to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we're guessing states and capitals. Convoy.